Your Hubdrive and organizations in HR management.
Jason, can you explain our positioning, both the strategical and the technical view?
Yeah, Julia, I'd be happy. First, let me introduce our vision and our focus. Our vision is to empower people and organizations around the world to take advantage of digital transformation in human resources. We want to make life easier for all employees at the same time increase productivity.
This is very similar to the Microsoft vision broken down to focus on HR.
Absolutely. It's very similar to the Microsoft vision, and we feel as partners with Microsoft to echo that vision, but highlight the key superpower that we have, and that focusing strategically on human resources. And that
So welcome everybody to another installment of ISV Success Live. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for making the time. I'd like to welcome Franziskus from Hubdrive. He's the CEO. And before we get to him, and I would truly appreciate the partnership we have with his organization, let me give you a quick few housekeeping items just to give some context to the call, the conversation, and what do you plan on learning today. And so ISV Success Live, we've been doing this for a couple years now. And the purpose of it is really to share the amazing innovation that our BizApps ISV ecosystem is providing to our joint end customers. And Hubdrive is no different, particularly because Hubdrive has been a longstanding Microsoft partner, particularly in the dynamic space, all around human capital management, HR scenarios, which Franziskus will allude and share more details on shortly. So during the conversation, we'd love to hear and engage in the conversation. So first and foremost, we'd love to hear where you're watching from. So if you're maybe doing this from Europe, where Franziskus is driving the conversation, or for myself, I'm in the Seattle area, or anywhere in between, feel free to type that into the LinkedIn window, and we'll do a little quick shout out towards the beginning, just to show our appreciation for you making the time if you're watching this live. The second is that if you have a question, if something sparks interest in a conversation and you want me to ask that specifically during the dialogue, I'm happy to go do that. And you just want, again, same thing, put that in the window, in the LinkedIn window. If there's time at the end, I'm happy to ask Franziskus that question, and so you can get your answer in real time. And then lastly, if the information is really resonating with the dialogue, we'd love to have you utilize one of the emojis in the experience, like, support, celebrate, etc., because that gives us indication that the information is actually resonating with the people watching live. And if you'll actually watch the replay as well, this is all on LinkedIn, and so there's an opportunity when we talk about call to action. We are doing this on LinkedIn, so feel free to connect with either Franziskus or myself, on LinkedIn and send us a connection request to say, hey, you watch the LinkedIn live event, and here's what you learned, and you'd love to stay connected. So with that being said, Franziskus, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy day to engage with us on a Monday, late afternoon, your time. So the way I always start to have these conversations is we can actually start out with your role. What's kind of the day in life being the CEO of Hubdrive? And then my favorite question, just to break the ice, is what is one thing not on your LinkedIn profile that you're open to sharing?
Yeah, so thanks, Brian, for having me. My name is Franziskus Lorey. Together with my partner, Bent, I'm driving Hubdrive since more than 10 years. And super excited here to be on stage. Again, thanks for the invite, Brian. Yeah, the thing with LinkedIn profile, I thought what could be interesting for you to learn about. And I've experienced when I hire new people that there is one thing they are more than surprised. And this is my hobby, RV / camper / mobile home. Why are people so surprised about this hobby? People learn very fast. Franziskus is a super structured person. There's always a plan. He loves checklists. And then he's going on vacation, no idea where he's heading to, drive left, drive right, super spontaneous, not planned. And the people are confused and ask me, why are you doing that? And then, of course, I share, hey, look, structuring the company, vacation is the thing you're doing different to what you're doing in business. And that's why I love to be worldwide doing camping. My favorite place is at Yosemite Park, being on the campground in the evenings there. And that's not on my LinkedIn profile.
I love it, Franziskus. So yeah, I was going to say, and you answered it. What's your favorite place? And it sounds like Yosemite here in the United States, one of the national treasures of the place. But where has been the most interesting campground that you parked your RV?
Definitely Yosemite Park.
Okay.
I love all the national parks in the US, to be honest, a little bit more the West than the East Coast. Yeah. Let's open some competition here. Also park, the Great Lakes in Europe, that's the place I'm come down. I can rescue and find the energy for the next challenge and plan to grow with Microsoft and Hubdrive.
I love it. And are these RVs something that you tow, or do you actually drive one of the big RVs that you're actually driving, or does it matter?
You need to find what is big. So I own one in Germany. It's 10 meter. So
Okay.
For European definition, that's already a bigger one. Not the biggest, but it's big.
Yeah.
In the US, that's not even a mid-size. Yeah.
Exactly.
The thing is, in US, the streets are so much bigger, and it's so the definition is a little bit different.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So before we get to kind of the meat of the conversation, let me do a quick shout out for everyone who's watching live. So John, thank you so much for making the time from Ohio. Truly appreciate it. James, Guten Tag. Thank you so much from watching from Germany. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, Giants. Thank you so much for watching from the Netherlands. Matthias, again, another German. Thank you so much. Dr. Shane from watching from Germany. And then one more. We actually have one more German as well. Pooja, thank you so much for making the time. So the one how we always start off these conversations, really to set the tone so people can understand, what does Hubdrive do? Because I'm sure there's people that know Hubdrive super well because you've been in the Microsoft ecosystem providing amazing value to HR scenarios. For those who don't know who Hubdrive is, maybe you can talk about what are the business outcomes that you help to solve in the conversations and the joint engagements that we have together with our potential joint buyers?
Thanks for the question, Brian. Let me explain it from two perspectives. Perspective number one is a business perspective. We are a solution provider for HR software based on the Microsoft Business Platform. So we are offering IP for recruiting, staff administration, personnel fight, talent management, time tracking, leave and absence. We have a complete solution, 16 modules to help people digitalizing their HR department. More concrete, for example, recruiting, the complete recruiting process, automating as much as doable through digitalization HR. For example, our customers, one thing they really love is when we streamline sharing jobs on portals. It's a job done in around about 2.5 hours if you do it manually. Through a complete automated process, you're doing that in around about 7 seconds. So we really can help people saving time. Time is money in recruiting. Time and attendance, the comfort for employees doing the time tracking with a smartphone. Yeah. For the people in the background, stop merging Excel files with recorded time on a monthly basis, complete automation of the time tracking challenge. Yeah, leave and absence, reducing the approval of a leave request from days to weeks. Some companies with paper, yeah, to sometimes minutes to hours. The approval process complete automated. Travel and expenses. Everybody hates to deal with expenses, fill out all these forms. Yeah. All these things doable in self-services. Yeah. People need not to run to the HR department. There's nobody there. Going back, calling them, sharing emails can be all automated, digitalized with the modules we offer as part of our HR solution. That's the perspective from the business perspective. In addition to the platform perspective, the technology perspective, we are doing that in the Microsoft ecosystem. We are doing that on the Microsoft platforms. What does it mean? Microsoft has 3 business platforms: Business Central, the Power Platform, and the F&O platform. And we are doing that on all these 3 platforms. So our software can be deployed on all of them. Meaning, if you have customers in Business Central, there's a small functionality in Business Central for HR management. We extend that functionality to a mature HR management solution with the challenges and solutions as just described in extending Business Central. There's an HR management functionality based on F&O, exact the same. We are extending the F&O HR functionality to a mature HR solution, really digitalizing the complete HR challenge of a customer. Our sweet spot is a Power Platform. On the Power Platform, there is no other offer in HR. So here we offer our 16 modules, and based on the challenges, the pain points, the customer focuses the most, we help continuously digitalizing the HR department with these modules to a full integrated solution. On these platforms, for example, in recruiting, you've decided for an employee, we can highly streamline the onboarding process when the employee appears the first day in the new for the new job. Open Outlook, all the appointments, training, onboarding, getting material is already there. That's all complete to automate, and we already can hand him over, for example, if the seller, to the sales department. Commission is already prepared, or he can the first customers can be assigned. So all these processes in the Power Platform combined with what we offer ends in a complete solution, a complete integrated process for the employees.
Yeah, so wow, what a comprehensive, set of capabilities end to end. Franziskus, all the way from onboarding, time and attendance, health and safety, recruiting, very comprehensive. And then for those of you who are kind of new to the dynamic ecosystem that Franziskus had referenced, you could start out with, if you're a small organization, Business Central, as Franziskus mentioned, that is kind of the scenario that people typically go down that path because it's really focused on our small, medium-sized business types of organizations. Going from low code, so Power Platform that Franziskus mentioned, being able to provide all these amazing HR scenarios that is built on a low code scenario, which is what we refer to as Power Apps in the Power Platform, then to full-blown quote unquote traditional ERP, which is finance and operations. So when you hear that term F&O that Franziskus mentioned, that is where a lot of our larger organizations, especially in the enterprise, are investing resources and time, where then all of a sudden, when HR scenarios that Franziskus talked about really offers that value. So maybe you can touch upon, and that gives us a good segue, Franziskus, to talk about like what's been the experience, like all this innovation you built on the Microsoft platform. What's been that Microsoft partner experience from your standpoint? Because of course, Hubdrive has been in the ecosystem for a number of years.
So yeah, what's the experience being in the Microsoft ecosystem? So Franziskus was born in cow country in the state of nowhere, in the country nobody knows. And in the meantime, Hubdrive has customers in 36 countries. We have customers in Jamaica. How does a customer in Jamaica find Hubdrive? Yeah, the solution is relatively easy. The solution is called AppSource. AppSource is the marketplace where Microsoft is bringing together prospects, in our case, who want to improve their HR, and suppliers like us, ISVs, who are offering IP. Without this ecosystem, without this offering, never we would have come together, the customer in Jamaica and Hubdrive. So in developing a great functionality, a great solution is a great thing. But to market it worldwide came through the partnering with Microsoft. So Microsoft enabled us being so super successful, and that's what's thrilling us every day in the morning. What's motivating us to move forward. So the Microsoft partnership was the basis, the fundament our business case is based on. Yeah, and uh, Microsoft gets so many requests from existing customers, leads we never would see if Microsoft would not moderate and hand over these leads to us. Microsoft is helping us in doing further developments, offering training for the new technology. They're offering how to deal with the platform, making the best out of the platform. Yeah, and we co-sell together. Especially in bigger companies, customers. We've won the most famous sports car manufacturer in Germany. You all know them, yeah. Was a co-deal we've won together. Sellers from Microsoft, sellers from Hubdrive. Um, so being part of this ecosystem enabled us to have the success we've already had, and is a great outlook for the future.
Thank you so much for those kind words, Franziskus, because I agree. I mean, AppSource is a amazing way to scale, because there are millions of people that are hitting that to go and identify, hey, services and or repeatable IP that can actually help them continue to advance the capabilities that they have across the Microsoft cloud. So it gives a good segue into, again, there's 15 solutions today from Hubdrive. And one of the ones that caught my attention as we were talking about in the pre-show is Copilot. And so maybe you could talk about that innovation that's happening, because when you think about generative AI, so for those listening live or watching replay, you never heard what Copilot refers to. Copilot is a scenario that allows you to do business process work in a very specific use case across a business process, and allow data flowing either from Microsoft or, in this case, a partner to enrich that conversation. So it allows that person who's running that business process, allows them to do their job easier. So maybe you could talk about the new Copilot offering that you have and that journey that you've taken to innovate. And to your point, like, you're doing a ton of innovation. What's been that kind of journey to then have now a Copilot generative AI offering from Hubdrive to work with Microsoft Cloud?
Very good question, Brian. That's also a combination working Microsoft with ISVs, ISV with partners, which is this what many people say 1 + 1 is 3. So AI can streamline processes, can help people. For example, where we started with is recruiting. There is a lot of email conversation between applicant and the recruiter. And why not offering suggestions on emails, on answers in conversations between these two? In our case, the recruiter. Yeah. Of course, intelligent based on the data we already know. For example, if the applicant is writing an email or is answering something, you get an email from, and the Copilot is offering you a suggestion what could be the answer based on the data you already know from him. You know already his salary, what he applied for, and the Copilot is offering an email draft you could send him. It's prepared, you can modify it. To modify is often easy and much faster than writing from sketch, and you send it off and save a lot of time. This is doable because Hubdrive, we know the HR processes, we know what a recruiter needs um, approach to successful win the right people, and Microsoft is offering the platform underneath which enables us. And this is this win-win. We really like to be in this partnership with Microsoft. And again, for the customer, it's super innovative. It's saving a lot of time and money to be faster in recruiting in this example. And more, we will offer more support in self-services that already answers are prepared. To be honest, I like the name Copilot. I would say at the moment it's not honest if you would call it a pilot. That's too soon. That's coming in less years. Yeah. Look at the Tesla cars. Is it really? No. It's not really self-driving at the moment, yeah. But this co-pilot idea is perfect because I, as human being, have the chance to check it, to modify it, and then send it over. So that's why I really like the approach from Microsoft, and it's really helping customers here in that combination in 2023.
I love it, Franziskus, and thank you so much for that investment in that use case, because that's exactly spot on. It's allowing a scenario to take the information that you have, or take the information we have, and merge it together to allow a person to be more efficient, to go through and try to solve or send the right message, or in your case, you said, send the right message to a person, so you don't have to think about it and do it from scratch. Because that I've used, for anyone who's used AI scenarios, whether in Bing or ChatGPT, is amazing, because you typically do modify it if you're going to use it in response, but it is so much more efficient because it gives you a starting point to have.
And I really can recommend you test drive it. You might be shocked about the quality, about the suggestion, the draft, the system already is able to deliver. I couldn't believe it a month ago. So I highly recommend it. Test drive it.
I love it. I love it. And maybe we'll reinforce that when we get to the call to action at the end. So before we get to the second to last question, again, let me do another quick shout out. We have a few more live viewers, so thank you so much, Ewan. Thank you so much for watching from London, England. I appreciate that. Marcus, thank you again. Another person from Germany. It's fantastic to see so many Germans on the call today. Thank you, Rob, from watching from the West Coast, from San Francisco. And then hopefully I'm pronouncing your name, Prabhu. Thank you so much from watching from India. I know it's super late your time. So one of my favorite questions is, what's the example? What are some maybe your favorite customer example, Franziskus? So we have about 6 minutes left, and I do want to make sure we have time for a call to action. But maybe you could talk about one or two really quickly, a couple of the customers that we helped to solve together across one of the use cases that you described earlier.
So what really excites me is the value, the benefits we offer to customers in saving time and money, plus comfort for the employee, plus security in data and processes. And what really excites me, we offer the combination of all three things. The customer needs not decide, do I want to save time or do I want to have more comfort for my customers, for my employees, I'm sorry. It's a combination, it's not a competition. And a customer in manufacturing, he was really excited that his blue-collar worker were able to deal with self-services because they use the Dynamics app on their smartphone. And these people are super fine with dealing with their own smartphone. Yeah. And on the other side, we saved so much time that at the beginning, global management was not believing the savings and asked, hey, is it serious? Can we really save so much time? And the employees confirmed to global management, yes, we calculated it internally. Digitalizing HR is really such a big opportunity to streamline. And last but not least, what's exciting me in person are NGOs. Think of volunteers really spending so much time, less money, no money. And the minimum what they can expect from the NGO is taking care of their health. And for example, our healthcare module, just considering taking care of the vaccination is done in time, quarterly, half year, yearly, yeah. That these volunteers we keep healthy. That's a thing which excites me in person. So these are examples from the hundreds of customers we've already won. That's what excites me the most.
What a great summary, Franziskus, on the different use cases. And I love how you also commented on non-governmental organizations, because people think, oh, these are typical for-profit conversations, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes these HR scenarios you're talking about can impact in a very positive way these non-governmental organizations as well. So with 3 minutes we have left, maybe we can talk about next steps. How do people learn more? So if people listening live or to the replay are listening to this going, oh, geez, these are amazing use cases that I could get benefit from, either because I'm a partner that are doing implementations and this use case comes up, where some of the use cases you talk about with HR have come up. How do they learn more? If I'm a Microsoft seller selling to an end customer and they realize, oh, this customer has this business challenge, oh, there's an ISV that does this, or maybe there's a buyer, maybe there's a customer listening that comes across this and goes, oh, I myself can get value from this. How do people, what are your recommendations on how people learn more and take next steps?
Good question, Brian. Let's start with Microsoft. If you're working for Microsoft in sales, in marketing, we have a PDM, we are a managed partner, Matthias Lauer, I think, yeah, perfect. Shoot him an email, and then you can start having an internal dialogue with him. That's the best and easiest way for everybody from Microsoft. If you're a partner, we're seeking for additional partners, especially in Europe, UK, United States, and Canada. We are not doing any services. We are offering the solutions. The implementation is done by our partners. We're continuously seeking for more partners. Go to hubdrive.com. There's an area for partners. I think 6-7 videos, more detail. You can learn more about our partner model, what's in it for you as a partner. If you're a prospect and say, hey, digitalizing my HR department based on Microsoft technology, I could imagine that, then also go to hubdrive.com, scroll down a little bit. There is a section for prospect customer with a link. Click on this link, and then you're in a great environment where you can learn much more about all these modules, the story, what's in it for you as a customer.
Yeah, I love it, Franziskus. That's a great overview. And I flashed this last one up because, of course, Franziskus mentioned about AppSource. The many different repeatable IP that exists can be easily found by going to aka.ms/hubdrive ISV. That will take you to the many different solutions that Franziskus covered that is listed as IP that exists on AppSource. So with that being said, before we go back to the video that we started out with to kind of finish that out from a person in your organization, really going in and talking about how Hubdrive adds value to customers in the Microsoft ecosystem. Any last parting comments, Franziskus, before we end the call and go back to just playing the remaining piece of the video, about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes for people to learn more? Any parting comments towards the end? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Franziskus, for making the time and joining the conversation today. And thank you all for watching live, or you come across the replay. Truly appreciate you paying attention to our ISV Success live engagements. If you want to, again, continue to learn a little bit more about each of the amazing ISVs we showcase on the calls, if you just want to follow ISV Success Live or aka.ms/ISV Success Live, that has the compile of all the many different solutions and scenarios that we've covered off in the over 2-year period that we've been doing these shows. Want to appreciate Hubdrive and Franziskus, your time, the amazing partnership we have together. And so for everybody, please enjoy the remaining video, and we'll talk on the next ISV Success Live next week. Take care, everybody.
Thanks from my side. Thanks, Brian, here for the opportunity to share what Hubdrive is doing. And for everybody, feel free to reach out to hubdrive.com now.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, Franziskus. Take care.
Bye-bye.